Hello, everyone. Yes, I'm bundled up again. Frost this morning. Yesterday was so hot. It was so hot. Yeah, okay. So my poor bones are aching again, but it's all right. It's all right. Uh, Good news. Well, good news. I call it good news. Our beloved true mother was released for 30 days, a month, to go to the hospital. She's in such bad shape. Uh, Unbelievable. You would think that by now, in democratic countries, some things would be right. Yes? That an 83-year-old woman can be kept in conditions and with no proper medical care or even furniture uh, is in detention. Uh, it, I don't even. And again, interestingly enough, on how this all has developed now, is that the consensus now is among the South Korean government and all these special prosecutors that she's a political threat. Come again? Our beloved true mother is dying, people. Dying from the conditions that she has been in. And she's a political threat? How? I thought it was all about gambling in Las Vegas. Millions and millions of dollars of gambling, which is illegal to do supposedly in South Korea. Though I happen to know that gambling is going on plenty in South Korea, no doubt. Why aren't they going after them people? Just saying. Which again, there's no proof that she has done any of that gambling. There isn't. There just isn't. And then the accusations of giving gifts to the former first lady in South Korea. Can't find any absolute proof there either. So now she's suddenly a political threat. It's kind of a bit unbelievable. No, it is unbelievable. Yet it is happening. That actually is happening. But again, she's out in the hospital at least, and now is receiving better care. Though again, what just put her back in detention so that she can deteriorate again? I saw the trial dates. You wouldn't believe how many there are. She's supposed to be attending in her condition. It doesn't make any sense. From what I've seen, it's like 15 to 20 trial dates within 2 or 3 months. 2 months? Why do they need so many trial dates? What? I've never seen anything like this. Anyway, the night before she was released, I asked my heavenly parent, please, there's got to be something you can do. I know that interference into our freedom of will and this and that is not something that um, you can do, but mother needs to go somewhere where she's better taken care of. And it happened the next day. Yes, prayers do work. Asking does work. And when enough is enough, I guess then the grace of our Heavenly Parent comes through regardless. No doubt that millions of our members around the world, the prayers to go out that are going out, not just for mother. Mother says don't pray for me, right? It's not going to stop me to at least ask our Heavenly Parent, please release some of the suffering that mother is going through. It's working. Prayers do work. Yes. Then, if I remember, I will talk about something else that I've seen, which is happening here in this county that I am at right now, in Kentucky. Kentucky better watch out. There's a lot of we live in the Bible Belt, and the faith that I've seen amongst the people I've been here in Kentucky is really amazing. It isn't just lip. I say lip service, yes. But sadly, the Democratic Party here is incredibly lacks incredibly in morals and many other things, and that goes all the way up to the state government here. Sadly, very sad to see that. But we'll talk about that later. So, the good Kentuckians here, we better pray that our state is not going to fall into a really disreputable place where then boy, we're going to be dealing with a lot of consequences then too. So we got to stay. And I've seen people wouldn't let it go. Okay, we'll talk about that later. All right, we're in the book of Jeremiah. The dispute with Hananiah. Dispute. There we go. 28. That same year, at the beginning of the reign of Zedekiah, king of Judah, in the 5th month of the fourth year, the prophet Hananiah, son of Azur, a Gibeonite, spoke as follows to Jeremiah in the temple of Yahweh in the presence of the priests and of all the people. Yahweh Sabaoth, the God of Israel, says this: I have broken the yoke of the king of Babylon. In exactly 2 years' time I shall bring back all the vessels of the temple of Yahweh, which Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Babylon, took away from here and carried off to Babylon. And I shall also bring back Jeconiah, son of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, and all the exiles of Judah who have gone to Babylon. Yahweh declares, for I shall break the yoke of the king of Babylon. Oh, by the way, I did go and check out if the Old Testament is the same as the Torah, which it is not. The Torah mainly consists of the 5 books of Moses. That's it. And a lot of what's been put in here in the Old Testament actually was put in due to the New Testament. So, haven't I not asked before? I said, wow, this sounds like at the time of Jesus. Why is this in the Old Testament? That's why. Okay. So, there is a big difference, actually. Yes. Some of it is in here from the Torah, but the Torah definitely is not the Old Testament. All right. So now I need to go and read the Torah. Maybe we'll do that too and see what is actually in there and what the Israelites today are accepting as, yes, the guidance of God. Very interesting too. The prophet Jeremiah then replied to the prophet Hananiah in front of the priests and all the people present in the temple of Yahweh. So be it, the prophet Jeremiah said, may Yahweh do so. May he fulfill the words that you have prophesied and bring all the vessels of the temple of Yahweh and all the exiles back to this place from Babylon. Hananiah, son of Azur, a Gibeonite. So this is another prophet? I never heard of this one. Listen carefully, however, to this word that I am going to say for you and all the people to hear. From remote times the prophets who preceded you and me prophesied war, disaster, and plague for many countries and for great kingdoms. The prophet who prophesies peace can be recognized as one truly sent by Yahweh only when his word comes true. Oh. Well, that's a good one, right? I wonder if anybody has ever done a compilation of all the prophecies and how many of them actually came true according to records that can be believed in. Yes? Yeah. Nostradamus, an interesting one. You start studying that a little bit deeper and you're going, whoa, that was a bunch of bogus. Yes? Yeah. Now anyway, Hey, you say, this is what's going to happen in 1,000 years. You're not going to be around anymore to be held responsible for when it doesn't happen. I'm just saying. It's very smart, right? I could. How about I start prophesying things like 50 years down the road? I won't be around for anybody to come and say you were wrong. But I could create a whole bunch of hullabaloo right now. Right? How are you going to prove I'm not right? It's 50 years down the road, right? Yes? I'm just saying. Right? People believe stuff like that. The prophet Hananiah then snatched the yoke of the neck of the prophet Jeremiah and broke it. In front of all the people, Hananiah then said, Yahweh says this is how in exactly 2 years' time I shall break the yoke of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and take it off the necks of all the nations. At this the prophet Jeremiah went away. So this is only 2 years into the future. Okay. After the prophet Hananiah had broken the yoke, he had snatched off the prophet Jeremiah's neck. The word of Yahweh came to Jeremiah. Go to Hananiah and tell him this. Yahweh says this. You have broken the wooden yokes only to make iron yokes to replace them. For Yahweh Sabaoth, the God of Israel, says this. An iron yoke is what I now lay on the necks of all these nations to enslave them to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. They will be enslaved to him. I have even given him the wild animals. It's like, it's, so, again, this come from God? I doubt it. But, again, so here is Hananiah, and then here's Jeremiah, and rather than uniting and say, what's actually going to happen? It seems like you got some kind of vision going as well when it comes to our people and rejecting the guidance of God, which is going to have consequences. What did I just say about the state of Kentucky? Okay. And instead of uniting and saying, hey, let's figure this out here somehow and how this can be dealt with in the best way to give our people hope, right? And to guide them back on track. Right? And no, instead, right, they're competing against each other. Who's going to be right? Even though they're actually talking about the same thing. Aren't they? The prophet Jeremiah said to the prophet Hananiah, listen carefully, Hananiah. Yahweh has not sent you, and thanks to you, this people is now relying on what is false. And so Yahweh says this, I am going to send you off the face of the earth. You will die this year, since you have preached rebellion against Yahweh. The prophet Hananiah died the same year in the 7th month. Okay. I could see, just reading this, I could see that in the way that Hananiah put these things out there, it probably reached someone on the other side, on the enemy side, and so they probably went after him just for that. Right? Yes. So again, did he actually really prophesy that? Well, it says it's in. Well, it sounds good, but I wasn't there. Again, if even if Jeremiah really truly wanted to follow God's word, he would not have dealt with Hananiah in that kind of way. Jeremiah does not know God either. The letter to the exiles, I'm not talking about, to put a curse on someone, you will die. That's a curse. There's no one that I know, have ever known, including myself, that is in the service of our heavenly parent that would put a curse on someone else. We're always here to teach. We're always here to guide. We're not here to put curses on people, especially on people's lives, no matter who they are. I would like to with some, but we can't. Not if we're truly in the service of our heavenly parent. Done. I can question things, but I don't get to curse people. The letter, okay, I'm going to keep going. On 29, the letter to the exiles. This is the text of the letter that the prophet Jeremiah sent from Jerusalem to those who were left of the elders in exile. To the priests, the prophets, and all the people whom Nebuchadnezzar had deported from Jerusalem to Babylon. This was after King Jeconiah had left Jerusalem with the queen mother, the eunuchs and chief men of Judah and Jerusalem, and the blacksmith and metal workers. Here we go, same thing again. The letter was entrusted to Elasah, son of Shaphan, and to Gemariah, son of Hilkiah, whom Zedekiah, king of Judah, had sent to Babylon to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. The letter said, Yahweh Sabaoth, the God of Israel, says this to all the exiles deported from Jerusalem to Babylon. Build houses, settle down, plant gardens, and eat what they produce. Marry and have sons and daughters. Choose wives for your sons. Find husbands for your daughters, so that these can bear sons and daughters in their turn. You must increase there and not decrease. Work for the good of the city to which I have exiled you. Pray to Yahweh on its behalf, since on its welfare yours depends. This letter was sent to the king Nebuchadnezzar. How does that make sense? Right? So, in a way, for the people that have good faith, go there. And the king goes, "Oh, that's really good. I'll have more people here to do my bidding." That's an odd one here. You guys have to admit. For Yahweh Sabaoth, the God of Israel, says this, Do not be deceived by the prophets who are with you, or by your diviners. Do not listen to the dreams you have, since they prophesy lies to you in my name. I have not sent them, Yahweh declares. For Yahweh says this, When the 70 years granted to Babylon are over, I shall intervene on your behalf and fulfill my favorable promise to you by bringing you back to this place. Yes, I know what plans I have in mind for you. Yahweh declares plans for peace, not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope. When you call to me and come and pray to me, I shall listen to you. When you search for me, you will find me. When you search wholeheartedly for me, I shall let you find me, Yahweh declares. I shall restore your fortunes and gather you in from all the nations, and wherever I have driven you, Yahweh declares, I shall bring you back to the place from which I exiled you. Okay, so the king of Babylon is reading this and goes, oh, okay, 7 years of peace, that sounds good. Okay. But didn't we read how many times beforehand here on how after that King Nebuchadnezzar will be going down with his people? That's not in here. That's interesting. Since you say, well, see, the letter is not done yet. Since you say Yahweh has raised up prophets for us in Babylon, this is what Yahweh says about the king now occupying the throne of David and all the people living in the city, your brothers who did not go with you into exile. Yahweh Sabaoth says this, I am now going to send them sword, famine, and plague. I shall make them like rotten figs, so bad as to be uneatable. I shall pursue them with sword, famine, and plague. I shall make them an object of terror to all the kingdoms of the earth, a curse, a thing of horror, scorn, and derision to all the nations where I have driven them. Because they have refused to listen to my words, Yahweh declares, although I have persistently sent them all my servants, the prophets, that they're not supposed to be listening to, but they would not listen. Yahweh declares, but all you exiles whom I have sent from Jerusalem to Babylon, listen to Yahweh's word. This is so weird. This is what Yahweh Sabaoth, God of Israel, says about Ahab, son of Kolaiah, and Zedekiah, son of Maaseiah, who prophesy lies to you in my name. I shall hand them over now to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, who will put them to death before your eyes. This curse based on their fate will be used by all the exiles of Judah and Babylon. May Yahweh treat you like Zedekiah and Ahab, roasted alive by the king of Babylon, because they have done a scandalous thing in Israel, committing adultery with their neighbors' wives and speaking lying words in my name without orders from me. I know all the same and am witness to it, Yahweh declares. Okay. Prophecy against Shemaiah. And to Shemaiah of Nehelam you will speak as follows. Yahweh Sabaoth, God of Israel, says this, since you, on your own initiative, have sent a letter to all the people in Jerusalem to the priest Zephaniah, son of Messiah and to all the priests, saying, Yahweh has appointed you priest in place of the priest Jehoiada to keep order in the temple of Yahweh, to put any crazy fellow posing as a prophet in the stocks and collar. Why then have you not disciplined Jeremiah of Anathoth, now posing as a prophet to you? Why, he has even sent us a message in Babylon saying, it will be a long time, build houses, settle down, plant gardens, and eat what they produce. So who did that letter come from? You know what? You know what they say? Too many cooks in the kitchen? Too many prophets? Huh? In the temple? It gets confusing. Yeah. Now, after the priest Zephaniah had read this letter to the prophet Jeremiah, the word of Yahweh came then to Jeremiah as follows. Send this message to all the exiles. This is what Yahweh says about Shemaiah of Nehelam. Since Shemaiah has prophesied, here goes another one, to you without my sending him, and since he has caused you to rely on what is false, for that reason Yahweh declares, I shall punish Shemaiah of Nehelam and his descendants. No male member of his family will survive among this people to see the happiness that I will bestow on my people. Yahweh declares, since he has preached rebellion against Yahweh. Okay, that's 28 and 29. Done. As I said my piece about curse, so I don't think that's what God would do. Anywho, weirdo stuff in here. So, just a few minutes. In Scott County, Kentucky, a few months ago, a mother of a girl, a teenage girl, went to, I guess, the principal first, then the school board, and said, my daughter has reported to me that one of the teachers there, who's also a coach, has inappropriately talked to her. Verbal sexual abuse. And in some instances, it seems like a light touching, kind of that, what is it? Making the girls uncomfortable. It was shoveled under the rug. Or they tried to. Then suddenly there were more girls coming out. Not going to get into the big long story. People can go and read that up. You will find it easily if you Google it. What I find absolutely unacceptable is there are 4 or 5 women on that school board. It's almost all women. And they disregarded the concerns of the mothers, and fathers, of these girls. Women. That is shameful. Considering on how sexual abuse of girls and young women is running rampant out there. Tried to shovel it under the rug. Oh, there's not enough proof. Really. By now, the people got outraged enough, not just because of the abuse, but because of in the way that it was handled, that now that guy finally, after months of, he was just on leave. What does that mean? He's not coming back. He is out. I say the people better get together and replace everyone that was involved in trying to shovel that under the rug and have them tried in court for assisting a pervert. That is how this should be handled properly. If this is allowed at this time, in schools, where girls do not feel safe anymore, report it, and then are being flipped off. How is this going to look like in the future? Are parents going to be still able to send their girls to school? Or will rape be on the menu and accepted and shoveled under the rug? Because, just saying, an adult, a teacher, bullying a teenager and being assisted with disregarding the complaint by other adults who are supposed to be protecting these children while they're in school, caring for them while they're in school, teaching them, not sexually abusing them, verbally or otherwise. Just saying. No wonder that bullying in the way that it has escalated in schools among the children as well can hardly be reined in anymore, because the adults, first and foremost, are either doing it themselves or turning a blind eye to it. That's very sad. Anyway, there it is, right? But the people of Scott County, the parents are fighting back. They want justice done. And I hope that everywhere around the world, people will stand up against stuff like that. Yes, we don't have to fight, but we have a right to defend our children. Yes, and with the proper heart to mind, it can be done with the legal system. Yes? That's all I have to share today. May Heavenly Parent bless and protect you, guide you, embrace you with love. Eldridge, my dearest brother in faith, I love you. Let's keep praying. It's a working, isn't it? Yes, yes, yes. And I will talk to you all another time.